drive it harder, and I'm probably going to pay the price.
Yeah, this is all about discipline right here and not trying to get too much. Just go out and try to do the exact same thing you did in the first round.
All right, now Group A was significantly slower than Group B. Joey Logano was fastest in Group A. That lap would have been 8th overall of the 10. Alex Bowman was slowest in Group A. We run all 5 Group A cars, then we move to Group B, so everybody has roughly, as close as we can get, the same amount of cool down time after their first round lap.
Yeah, and I think Group A is. I think they're going to have a little bit of an advantage, but you never can tell who's got the best car. Alex Bowman's up against the wall.
Now that was a 52. He ran a 42 in round 1.
Just trying to arc it a little bit further, getting into the corner and actually hit the wall.
Well, that's real easy to do going down the front straightaway at Richmond, and once you touch it, it sucks it in because it's curved.
Trying to get arced out a little bit too far. It touched the rear, put the front back into it, bounce off of it a couple times. Just like you said, sucked him in.
Second lap was within 1/1000th of a second, but not faster. So here's Ross Chastain, who ran a 22:40 in round 1.
And we heard Ross talk earlier about waiting a little bit to go out and practice and how his car needed to pick up some speed. Well, he found a whole bunch of speed going into the first round of qualifying. Put himself in this second round.
Not at all what he was looking for. A lot slower, but got a lot better on this first time. Maybe he threw that first lap out the window, Kevin. Prepared, knowing it was going to be this second lap. Got back to the gasket. Can he stay with it?
A good pickup to a 48. That's within 8/100ths of what he ran in round 1. Kyle Larson with a 35 in round 1.
That was always the hardest part for me when I qualified here, is trying to determine, was it going to be my first lap or second lap? And sometimes it was just different, and there wasn't any rhyme or reason why.
Yeah, it's just all about, it's such a detailed racetrack. It's all about hitting your marks and not making mistakes and being able to get off of that brake as soon as you can and have the car rotate to be able to get back in the throttle and stay in the throttle in qualifying.
And how the tires come in are part of that equation. I mean, it's just sometimes it felt like, well, they just came in faster the first lap than the second lap.
So a 46, that's 11/100ths off of what he ran in round 1, and he equals that. Now 43, picks it up a couple of hundredths.
And that's what we were talking about, Clint, is how fast do you go, knowing that it's probably going to be slower, but how much slower? See that damage on Alex Bowman's car.
Ty Gibbs with a 22:35 in round 1. Now so far the best of the drivers that qualified have fallen off 8/100ths.
Again, all these cars were from that Group A, and I just think the track was a little bit different for all these teams. I feel like the pole setter is going to come from the Group B.
Ooh, Gibbs with a 79. Not the lap he wanted.
Yeah, that first lap definitely seems to be worse. A lot worse than the second lap in this round.
Tires have set quite a while for these teams in this Group A. This is a long turnover period for those tires, long cycle, and that's exactly what they do. They'll go through a cycle as they cool off, heat up and cool down. Usually, what's that cycle mean? Typically tighter.
So that's a 24/100ths fall off from round 1 for Ty Gibbs, the worst we've seen in Group A. Here's Joey Logano. A 33 in the first round is what he's trying to get close to.
We see another first lap that's way off.
Now that first lap was half a second off what he ran in the first round.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about with the Fords. Can they go out and fire off in the second round? That was always the part that I struggled with here, was the Fords will fire off great on sticker tires, but when they get those scuff tires and have to go back out for the second time, the cars just get way tighter.
Joey Logano with even more of a fall off. Kyle Larson is atop the board after round 2, Group A. Lead off after a 22-22 in round 1, and it looks like from what we just saw in Group A, that's going to be hard to back up.
Yeah, we also learned during the break that we almost lost control of this whole broadcast, and Clint does nothing to listen to myself or his wife, so
it was close.
Yeah.
You just did that to me.
Yeah, I know Laura's listening.
This is fantastic. Fantastic news. Come on, Truex. Bail me out here. And diamond and arc the corner a little bit, maybe. Ooh.
Oh, there's that crown that we talk about sliding over the top of, and I know you said that this was going to be the group, but this is going to be a tough task for Group B with the amount of cool-off time compared to Group A for their tires.
A 57 on the first lap for Truex, and that is a fall off of 3.5 tenths from the first round.
Well, let me tell you something. It isn't because the tire fall off. I believe it's because of the sun coming out. I think this track is heating up and very quickly right now. Sun's finally burning through the clouds. Yep. It's going to make this track hot and slick.
Yeah, we saw Kyle Larson pointing skyward as the sun popped through here. Todd Gilliland 22.54. He ran a 20 in the first round, so that's the same fall off as Truex.
There's 2 cars in a row sliding off the 2. It's big time lose. It's going to be a great top 10 start, nonetheless, for Gilliland. You can just tell the sun shining on the race cars. It's for sure evident in a big way. It's going to change this racetrack.
Austin Cindric 22.18 in round 1.
Way up out of the groove.
Yeah, you saw his car. There's a bump going into turn 1 that goes all the way across the racetrack, and as he crossed that, he had to correct to the right.
Cars just don't seem to have near the grip in them they did the last time they were in them.
And that's pretty normal here from the first round to the second round. You know it's going to slow down. You just don't know how much.
22.66 for Cindric. That's a fall off of almost half a second.
Kyle Larson liking what he sees right now. He's hoping that sun stays shining bright on the racetrack.
Down to Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott to challenge Kyle Larson for the pole.
And Bubba did a great job of hugging that yellow line in 1 and 2. This is by far the closest we've seen anybody to Kyle Larson off of 2. Can he hold suit down in 3 and 4? Rotates back to the throttle. I think he's going to pay the price. Pointed the wrong direction up off. Had to lift at the wall.
I really like how disciplined he is, though. He's taking what he can get out of the car, putting that car right against the yellow line through 1 and 2.
Parked a little more in 3 and 4, trying to get it down. Got back to the throttle, still pointed the wrong direction on the exit.
Needs 2 1,000ths to move up a row, and he gets it with a 53.
Down to his teammate.
Wallace is 4th, and now it is Larson and Elliott for the pole. 22.43 is the time to beat. Chase Elliott falls off 3 tenths from round 1. He'll be right there with Larson.
Great
within
exit.
thousands.
Yeah, let the car roll a little bit. It was a little slower to the gas, but when he went to it, he went back wide open. He's ahead of him right here, folks. Going to be close. Whoo, barely.
2 1,000.
Still got a lap. Same thing on exit. Got back to the gas. Very affirmative. Back in the lead down the backstretch. Arced it in good into 3.
Oh, he touched the apron right there.
It's going to pay the price, too, because of it.
Yep.
And that is the difference. The second lap is slower by 8 100ths, and Kyle Larson has won his 17th career pole and his first of the season. Regan?
Well, Mike, that's right. First pole of the season for Kyle Larson as he gets congrats from the team. Kyle, you got everything right in that second round of qualifying. How much does this set your day up to be good for tomorrow now?
It definitely helps for sure. I think the #1 pit stall here means a lot. So, yeah, happy